Diddy is done, and Joe Wenberg from Vanderpump Rules is asking for money. You guys, we got to talk all about it. So grab a beverage. Hopefully, you're wearing something comfy, and let's get started.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me. I know you deserve all you want, 'cause your heart's made of gold. But don't wait till you're old. If you want it, I get you some.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Stand-up comedian and pop culture vulture Joleen Lunzer here for another episode of No Offense, All Offense, our live stream talk show where we talk about trending news topics, pop culture, our favorite reality TV, all the stuff, you guys. I am very opinionated, but remember, you don't have to have the same opinion as me. You're welcome to have your opinion in the live chat. Or also in the comment section after the video posts. As long as we're being respectful to each other, we can agree to disagree.
That's my opinion!
That's my opinion. Okay. I take a comedic look. We can't always take a comedic look at some of the things, we try our best, but today we're going to be talking about two subjects. Neither are funny. But you can, we'll see what we can do. Okay. But we also like to, talk about this like as a group. And also, we have a great live chat that participates, and I give you my opinion. I am very biased. And that's, if you're looking for just someone to straight up tell you the story, that's not here. This is going to come with an opinion.
Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Where did you find her?
Blame Nana. Nana found me. All right, you guys. So if you are joining live, smash that like. If you're joining later, hello replay crew, please smash the like, you guys. We are literally like under 1,600,000. No, 1,600. Why did I 1,600,000? That sounds weird to me. We're 1,600 or less, a little less, away from hitting 40,000 subscribers. So thank you so much to all of you who have subscribed, who continue to come back to these lives. I appreciate you so much. And to those of you who have shared me with your friends or on social media, I appreciate you so very much. I think we can do it. I think we can hit 40,000 subscribers, which is very, very exciting. If you want to support the channel further than liking or subscribing, you can always send a super chat while we're live. I'll highlight your comment. We can talk about it. You can send a super thanks after the video posts. Thank you. A lot of you have been doing that. I appreciate it. You can also join my YouTube channel or check out my Patreon. I know I got new Patreon supporters and new YouTube members. So hello and thank you. We did a night pants with Nana exclusively for our Patreon and YouTube supporters. So you can check that out if you haven't already and you're a new member or an old member. You can also hit me up on the Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Everything is in the description. Okay. Okay. Yes. And Big Brother. Thank you, Jamie B. Big Brother. I cover it every summer. Big Brother starts July 17th. I think it's a 2-night premiere, right, Jamie? So we are excited about that, but smash that like. Okay. Waking up in the morning, think about so many things. Anna says, waking up to a video of DJ Bowie Jean interviewing DJ James Kennedy was very unexpected. Who did Steven sent me something about Bowie Jean? I haven't opened it yet. So that might be it. Okay. We'll have to talk about that tomorrow on No Offense, All Offense. We'll definitely have to talk about that because we have a lot of things to talk about today. All right. So yesterday, there was a video that CNN released, and we'll start with the Diddy stuff, and then we'll go into the Joe Wenberg stuff from Vanderpump Rules and see where we go from there. There was a video that was obtained by CNN, and I'm sure a lot of you saw it. I'm not going to play it. I don't want to play it. And it was surveillance footage from 2016 at a Los Angeles hotel of Diddy, who we all know is under investigation. However, no indictment has been we've seen no indictment. There's been no arrest. There's been no anything, but Diddy is currently facing and has faced quite a few lawsuits. And now the feds were involved and they raided his homes. And then he's got the gentleman to the left of him, Lil Rod, he's got another lawsuit against him. And there has just been so many allegations, especially over the past year, but for quite some time, that have surrounded Diddy. But we all know that Diddy has made himself a mogul. He's made himself this very successful, well-connected businessman in the music industry. And so he seemed almost untouchable when all of these things would, you know, when he would be accused of these things, it seemed as though, we see that within every business, with people who are very rich and powerful, they are able to get away with things. We saw this for years with Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, and now we're seeing it with Diddy. I mean, we've seen it with so many more people. But so Diddy had a lawsuit against him by his former girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, and he settled and paid her out in 24 hours. But yet he went on a campaign of he didn't say much, but what he did say is these claims that are coming out about me, whether it be from Cassie or all these other allegations against him, are false, and people are trying to get a money grab. I think specifically his lawyer said about Cassie that this was like a money grab. Well, lo and behold, yesterday, or maybe it was Friday now, was yesterday Friday? No, today's Sunday. Joleen, get your days right. So 2 days ago, this video came out of Diddy assaulting Cassie in 2016, a surveillance video from a Los Angeles hotel. Now, allegedly, according to Cassie's lawsuit, which if you read it, there's a lot in there, and it is horrific. The allegations against him of what he did to this woman. So, she said in this lawsuit that the hotel was paid, I believe, $50,000 to not show this video, allegedly by Diddy. Well, the video came out from 2016, and it was horrific. It showed Cassie leaving the hotel room she shared with Diddy. She had a hoodie on, and she was carrying some bags, maybe a purse, and Diddy comes running out of the hotel room in his robe and pulls her down. She's facing towards the elevator, pulls her down, and continues to just assault her, kick her, hit her. And Cassie, it's heartbreaking. She doesn't even fight back. And you know that this is most likely, a situation where this is a common thing. Allegedly, that day in particular, he was intoxicated, had given her a black eye, and I think when he passed out, she attempted to escape, and he found her at the elevator and then beat her again. So there are no words. I'm finding myself tongue-tied and emotional and all the things that you are when you see things like that, especially when, Cassie has, I'm sorry, you guys, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I apologize. That was my husband. He's probably doesn't see that I'm live. I think being a woman too, there's just so many instances where women are not believed, and especially when they accuse men with this much power and money. And Cassie's character was really, so many people were like, oh, she's a gold digger, and they really disparaged her character. And now we are seeing, it's sad that we have to see video like this before we believe this woman. And so the video comes out. It's horrific. Just on a positive note, Cassie has remarried. She was able to finally escape Diddy. She met him, I believe, in 2005. And as a teenager, or they started dating was it 2005? Because Cassie is still in her 30s now. But they started dating when she was 19, so a teenager. But he had met her years before. And this is a very classic case, the more we're learning about this, of grooming, of this man with power grooming this young woman. This has nothing to do with gold digging, any of that thing. The power structures are completely off. He was, I believe, 37 dating a 19-year-old. I'm sorry, that is gross. Okay. And the power dynamics, like I said, were off. It's just a classic case of grooming and then abuse. And so Cassie was with him, she finally was able to escape. We'll just put it like that. She is now since married a man named Alex Fine. He's a personal trainer. They have children together. So I'm so happy that Cassie has been able to move on with a man who seems to be so much better than this piece of shit, Diddy. He even wrote a letter a while back and he posted it 2 days ago after this video came out. And his name is Alex Fine. And he posted this to his Instagram. And the letter says, "A letter to women and children. Men who hit women aren't men. Men who enable it and protect those people aren't men. As men, violence against women shouldn't be inevitable. Check your brothers, check your friends, and your family. Our daughters, sisters, mothers, and wives should be protected and loved. Hold the women in your life with the utmost regard. Men who hurt women hate women." I think that is like, I read this statement on our members only yesterday with Nana for Night Pants. And I think that is such a powerful statement that we need to keep reminding society in general, but also reminding reminding men and also reminding our fellow women. Men who hurt women hate women. So as the old adage, as that old thing that we kind of grow up hearing, if a boy hits you, it's just because he likes you and he doesn't know how to express that. It's like, no, if a little boy hits you, he's an asshole. And either you hit him back or you go tell the teacher and you make sure that he stops hitting. I mean, that's not on the little girl, but it doesn't mean he likes you. When someone likes you, they're nice to you. And I have this conversation quite a bit on my channel because we hear, why do women put up with this shit? Why do women, women are the problem. They want bad guys. What do you expect when we live in a society that's telling us men who are mean to us really, really like us and they're just misunderstood? So we need to take the time we need to pay attention to them and know that really they can't show it. And so, of course, for our whole lives, from the first little boy we encounter, we're told, oh, we pulled your pigtails. He likes you. He likes you. And you're like, no, he's a little asshole and he needs some help. And he needs his parents or teachers or somebody in his life to teach him that when you first of all, don't put your hands on people. Second of all, when you like someone, you don't hurt them. That is not how you show that. When you like someone, you show them that you like them with your kindness. You be kind to them because you like them. It's a positive thing. So when people, that argument is always out there, women just don't like nice guys. It's like, yeah, because we're told that nice guys, that guys, when they're nice to us, they don't like us. So, I mean, that's just one of the things that always bothers me. And I still hear it being told to little kids, and little boys deserve better, and definitely little girls deserve better, because those things that we are taught in those fundamental years when we're very young, whether we're cognizant of it or not, whether we remember it in our we can pull it right from memory, it seeps in. And so unconsciously, we always go along like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, he's probably just mean to me because, I mean, how many times can you think? I mean, I could ask the women in the chat here, but how many times have you in your life maybe put up with something that you knew you didn't deserve, but you thought, well, here's a good question. How many times have you been with someone? And this is for the, I guess, the straight women. How many times have you put up with someone or dated someone for their potential? How many times have you, put up with things that you don't deserve, or cruelness, or someone not being nice to you in a relationship because you thought, well, it's just he can't express himself, or maybe it's something I did or something like that. I think that there are lessons that we can teach starting very young to both little boys and little girls in society of how to treat one another. And I know people think it's cute. Like, oh, did he push you down on the playground? That means he just has a crush on you. No, if he has a crush on you, he's not going to crush you. Okay. He's going to be sweet to you. And you have to teach little boys that. And so it's a bigger issue. And that's just on I know this is a layered discussion, and that's on a very surface level, because then you've got to deal with people who are just whole ass sociopaths, psychopaths, all kinds of personality disorders and things that might go undiagnosed due to just not proper mental health, access to, or having too much money and power, which clearly Diddy does have. Okay. So exactly, Chris. Just imagine all that went down not on the video. And I've still seen horrendous comments after seeing this video where people have been like, well, we need to know what led up to that. There is nothing that could excuse, nothing could lead up to that that would excuse what this man did. And it's amazing to me that anyone would want to question this situation where you clearly see this man. Cassie, it breaks my heart. She's turned away from him. He pulls her from the side. She doesn't even, she's just late. Like she just wants to go away. You know, it just, how can you see someone who's so clearly the victim of domestic violence and question her motives or question? I've seen women, fucking women in the comment section go, why didn't she leave? That is, we have to do better. That is horrible. That's not even a basic understanding of people when they're in these abusive situations and how hard it is to leave and how afraid you are, let alone when you're with someone like Diddy, who has so much power, so much influence. And it is just, thank you, BB. She was leaving in that video. That is, I didn't even think of it like that. And that is a perfect example. Look what, thank you, BB. Thank you. My mind is too jumbled. But that is exactly when she does leave. Look what happens. Look what happens when she tries to leave. And you know what the hotel staff allegedly told her? Oh, just, you know, instead of calling the police, instead of intervening, instead of anything, they're like, oh, maybe you should separate. So there was also in the video him sitting in his towel on a chair, throwing a vase at her head. Horrible. Okay. So let's take a look at, he issued an apology. We're going to react to his stupid fucking apology. And I'm probably going to swear quite a bit. So, oh well. But we're going to react to that here. Okay, let me pull it up and we will share this. So 2 days now have since the video was released, right? Diddy has, you know, these claims and far worse against him are included in Cassie's lawsuit. And along with others, I mean, he has sexual assault claims that go back to the 90s when he was in college. And he has said, none of this is true. The truth will come out. Just a couple days ago, he was posting about how the truth, you know, and it did. It came out. It came out, Diddy. It came out. It came out that you're the monster most of us thought you were. So now 2 days later, he is, who knows? I've seen speculation. Is he at his Miami home? Maybe. It looks pretty tropical. Could he be in Bali with, I always want to call him Richard Simmons, but it's not. It's Run DMC's brother, that problematic dude who was married to baby fat Kimora Lee Simmons. Russell Simmons. Is he in Bali? He's been posting pictures with his family. And the grossest part is he's been posting pictures with his daughters. So you're going to abuse women and then you're going to use these young girls, your daughters, as a way to, as like a marketing tool to make you more likable. Because that's what it looks like. So he's with his kids. Now he has 3 daughters, twin daughters and another daughter. And he has 3 sons. One is like his kind of adoptive. It was Kim Porter's son, with I'll Be Sure. And I don't know. I don't know if he officially adopted them anyways. And then actually, no, he has 4 daughters. Holy fuck. He's got 4 daughters. Does he? Yeah. Twins. The older one. And he's got a baby. It's a baby. It's a babe. She's a baby. Sweet little baby. And he keeps posting with her. Mims in the chat. Thank you, Mims. Mims says the only thing that didn't come out was Diddy. I mean, so many allegations of, you know, him and these freak offs. I think Mims was the first person that I was like, what is a freak off? I didn't know. He didn't believe me. I was like, I really don't know. So, Jody, thank you for the super sticker, by the way. And Mims, we have to, you have to join me. I know we talked about this before, but you have to join me because Mims is like the YouTube channel to go to about all things Diddy. end this case whenever it becomes a case, and hopefully when there's a federal trial for, what they for this, trafficking and all of these other allegations and stuff. So, but yeah, Mims, you got to come on, and we should talk about this because I would love to get your commentary on this and for you to join me, friend. Okay, so let's listen to him. Put a thumbs up if you guys can hear the audio as soon as I start playing it. Let me know. So this is to his Instagram that he posted today on the Lord's Day. They always want to, these predators, it's so funny how they, it's so weird. They don't find God until they fuck up. And in my opinion, God's like, leave me out of this. Leave God out of this. How come you only find him when you fuck up? Where were you all the other times? They always want to talk about Jesus and God, but never when you're doing, you're just killing it. It's only when you fuck up. And then all of a sudden you can speak for him and he forgives you. You sure know a lot about him.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy.
Yeah.
Going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
Okay. Here's the thing. I love to tweet. The first little comment is boy bye. Exactly. When you're truly a good person and when you truly are sorry for something, and if you have went to this therapy you speak of and this rehab you speak of, then you don't wait until the evidence comes out to admit your wrongdoings. You wouldn't continue to disparage Cassie and the other people that are alleging, with lawsuits and allegations against you. You wouldn't keep calling them money hungry and liars if you were truly sorry. Someone who is truly sorry, no therapist would fucking tell this idiot to keep denying it. And also, who cares if you went to therapy? Everybody should go to therapy. People go to therapy because they have anxiety. You are full on beating up women and allegedly trafficking people and sexually assaulting people. So no, you need more than, I don't even know if there's therapy that can help you. I really don't know if that exists. What do we care if you're going to therapy? It's clearly not working because things keep coming out. And you keep denying it. You're not owning any of your shit. The only reason you put this video out is because you got caught, because the video came out from 2016 and there's more to come. There's going to be more videos coming out about this man. This dude, it should be official. He's done. This is not an apology. This is a no apology. This is somehow to save his ass, to garner some kind of sympathy. And there will be people out there that show him some sympathy, usually the people that do it themselves, or people that unfortunately, I like to think, it's the only person that could have sympathy for this man is a person that truly hates women. If you can look at what he's done and how he's acted since all these allegations have come out, and if you can read these lawsuits against him and still think he's savable despite how he's acted, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You're living in a different world than I am. Brooklyn Rose, thank you for the super chat. Brooklyn says, shoddy PR work. Same PR rep as Thompson. I think so. It's a very non-apology. I don't expect forgiveness. Well, you'll never get it. Guess what? I'll never forgive you. Nope. Mm-mm. And you are a performer. You are someone that needs a fan base. And so as someone who was a fan, I will never forgive you. I'll never forgive. I don't care what you do. I don't care how much therapy you do. I don't care. You continued to hurt people. I guarantee to this day you continue to hurt people. And the fact that you're hiding behind mental health, going to therapy, and possible rehab, sir, aren't you still drinking and doing the drugs? How do you have a whole ass little? How then? Why are you hanging out with this guy? Your drug mule. What? That was 2016 that you said you're sorry for this video. Then why are you hanging out with this dude who's your alleged mule? If you're so rehabbed, I don't know. I don't know how rehabs work these days, but I'm pretty sure after you go through rehab and you've been helped and you've really sought things out to help yourself, you're not going to be hanging out with your alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul, who coincidentally on May 17th, the same day the video came out, he is going to avoid jail time because he accepted a plea deal. So Sean Diddy Combs' alleged drug mule, Brendan Paul, has struck a deal. People has confirmed that Paul will avoid jail time following his arrest in March for cocaine and marijuana possession amid federal sex trafficking accusations the hip-hop mogul is facing. The 25-year-old, that's a rough 25, has now entered a drug diversion program. Brendan accepted the prosecutor's offer to permit his entry into the diversion program, which, after completion, the case against him will be dismissed in its entirety, said Brian Bieber. No relation to Justin, I don't think. Paul's attorney, in a statement obtained by People, a representative for the Miami-Dade state attorney, said this was a standard offer to a nonviolent defendant with no priors. On March 27th, Paul, a former Syracuse University basketball player, wow, that is a huge fall from grace, was arrested on cocaine and marijuana possession felony charges. An affidavit obtained by People stated that he was taken into custody at Opa-locka Airport by Miami-Dade police, working alongside Homeland Security agents who raided Combs' two homes around the same time that day. The affidavit alleged that Paul was arrested after he was caught with suspected nose candy and marijuana in travel bags. Paul had previously been named in a civil sexual assault lawsuit filed by Combs' former producer and videographer Rodney Lil Rod Jones, in which Jones alleged Paul was Combs' mule, who acquires and distributes his drugs and his GUNSs, his pew-pews, as Mims calls them. Despite the arrest, he did not appear to be connected to the I'll Be Missing You artist, 54. Attorney Bieber said in a statement to People on March 27th, "We do not plan on trying this case in the media. All issues will be dealt with in court." So in April, Paul was charged with the felony nose candy possession. However, according to court documents, Paul's additional felony charge for the ganja laced candy were dropped. People confirmed that Bieber entered a plea of not guilty in a very brief hearing at the Richard E. Gerstein Justice Building in Miami, Florida, on behalf of Paul on April 24th. "We will be dealing with this case in the courtroom, not the court of public opinion," the lawyer said in a statement to People. At the time, a hearing was scheduled for Friday, May 17th. Now it has been canceled because he took the plea. So tell me again how you, so here's you, Diddy. There's you with your friend Brendan Paul, your alleged drug mule. How did rehab go? In the words of Dorinda Medley, not well, bitch. Not well. Thank you, Trish Mansfield, for the super chat. Trish says, hate Diddy, but love Joleen. Thank you, Trish. And Charisse, thank you so much for the super sticker. That is so kind of you. I appreciate that. So now he's a snitch, but I'm like, snitch him out. Okay? Snitches, get this, bitches. You know what I mean? This one over here. And I hate to insult female dogs like this, but this no apology from Diddy, it's a joke. You're a joke, sir. This should be the end. I hope we do not see any more celebrities come forward, any more artists come forward in defense of this man. Anytime you think, well, we have to, he's a person too. We have to make sure he's okay. Put all that energy on women and victims of domestic violence. Put all that energy into them. He'll be fine. He's got too much money. Okay. And I hope all these victims take it all. But it is, so anytime you want to, no. People are always so quick to run to this kind of dude, these predators, and go, oh, we better make sure that the music isn't that good. Okay. It's like the words of Nene Leakes. What did she say about when she accused Kim Zolciak Bierman for pimping out her daughter in old school Roa days for John Legend tickets? Nene said, the music isn't that. It's okay. She's like, I'll listen to it on the iPod. It's not that good. I listened to it on the iPod. I think she said something like that. Classic, wonderful Nene Leakes. But it's not that good. I mean, was Diddy aligned with very talented people? Sure. Did he allegedly, now with these lawsuits, it looks like he actually ripped off quite a few of these very talented people and people that he signed. But is he himself a talent? No, he's just he procures it. And then he does this. It's the same thing Suge Knight said in the 90s. If you want a producer who's all in the video, dancing, I'm adding a little bit, looking like an idiot, you can stay over with Bad Boy. But if you don't want that, come over to Death Row. So maybe he just needs to go. I don't know what prison Suge Knight is in. I know he does little interviews and podcasts and stuff. But maybe you just put him over there. I don't know. This is what I remember from my childhood. I mean, I'm 44 years old. So when Diddy, when Biggie's Life After Death album dropped, I think I was 17. And so that was huge. And I was like, I don't know who Diddy is. And then obviously the unfortunate passing of the Notorious B.I.G. and then Tupac and then Diddy's entanglement in that. But this is all you would see. Is him in like rubber suits. And then he brought Mace and I was like, oh, Mace is so good. But then Diddy had to come in and ruin it. I think the only banger Diddy had, in my opinion, which that's strictly my opinion, not that, people need to know, was maybe All About the Benjamins or something. I don't know. Even I'll Be Missing You was like, nah, I just listened to the Sting version. So it's not that great. So to be even a little apologetic to this man, be like, he's a great talent. Not really. Not really. I guess it's, yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Evelyn says, Diddler's got some powerful people behind him. He has a lot of high-level secrets. That's what sucks, and we've talked about this on previous episodes of No Offense, All Offense. He is aligned with some very big billionaires. That he has done, whether it be, perfume deals, clothing deals, alcohol deals. He is involved with some pretty big billionaires, and not just billionaires, but billionaire families. So he has protection. And so, that's what a lot of people are speculating. This apology is that he never even says Cassie's name. But part of me, I don't even want him to. He doesn't deserve to speak her beautiful name. So he's not really apologizing to her. He's apologizing to these people he's doing business with so that he can keep doing business. Yep. Epstein 2.0. Epstein 2.0. Sue says Sting is in the police, as in the group, not the cops, for the youngster in the chat. Well, did he get Epstein? Well, here's the thing. So CNN was discussing this. And unfortunately, here's another thing I want to talk about. So unfortunately, Diddy will not, people, you see a video like this and you think, go arrest him. Hello, go get him, lock him up. Let's start giving them the chant they did for Hillary, lock her up. Let's do lock him up, and they can't, which is such a travesty within our justice system, that we can see this sort of thing happen and we can see it on video. And yet this man is not going to be charged specifically for this. And here's why. Okay. So according to People, Sean Diddy Combs settled the civil lawsuit with Cassie so quickly because of this 2016 hotel surveillance video that came out on Friday, says former CIA agent. So former CIA agent Tracy Walder told People magazine that she predicts something will come down soon in terms of charges. So I think she's talking, obviously, federal charges. Sean Diddy Combs and Cassandra Cassie Ventura took a day to reach a settlement after a lawsuit was filed in November of last year, all because of the recently released surveillance video. This is according to Tracy Walder, the former CIA and FBI special agent. So like I said, on Friday, CNN obtained and released this 2016 surveillance video from the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles. And believe me, if the Intercontinental Hotel really did, and they find that they have, I mean, I believe Cassie, but if they did take $50,000 to keep this quiet, don't go to the, everyone know it's the Intercontinental, allegedly. Obviously, everything I say is true except for the parts that are false. But allegedly, the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, I apologize if I said Las Vegas, in Los Angeles, may have allegedly taken $50,000 to hide the surveillance video. The Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles is where this occurred and where they may have allegedly taking $50,000 from Diddy to hide this video, okay? Which showed the music mogul in a towel, kicking, shoving his ex-girlfriend Ventura outside the elevator. The footage resembled a scenario described in her lawsuit that accused Diddy of SA, we'll say, sexual assault, S trafficking, and DV. Ventura described the incident where Combs became extremely intoxicated and punched Miss Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. The suit detailed. The lawsuit said that after Combs fell asleep, like we talked about, Cassie attempted to leave the hotel room, but he woke up and followed her into the hallway screaming. He grabbed her. He then took glass vases in the hallway and threw them at her, causing glass to crash around them as she ran to the elevator to escape, the lawsuit read. Hours later, Walder spoke exclusively to People, describing the video footage as the reason why Combs settled so quickly with his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in November 2023. Diddy never expected the video to get out. It's very upsetting that this has exceeded its statute of limitations. It does depend on what the charge could be, but it can range from 1 to 3 years. Felony assaults in California have a statute of limitations of 3 years, says Walder. Since this stemmed from a 2016 incident, she wouldn't be able to file assault or battery charges in Los Angeles. And to that, I ask you why. Now, I am not, I didn't go to law school. I'm not as well-versed on the law as many, many others. However, why do we have a statute of limitations on these sort of things? Who decides this arbitrary number of 3 years? You got 3 years, bitch, to say something. After that, didn't exist. Now I think they've changed it to 5. They've done this. They have this also with survivors of like sexual assault. And what we know, to me, it's 2024. We live in a time now where we know how hard it is for victims to come forward, period, because they're oftentimes accused, dragged, not believed, and it just re-traumatizes them. So why would you put a time limit on this shit? And there was an interesting time limit in California regarding children. I don't know if they have changed that, but children who are victims of whether that be SA, and we know Hollywood has a big problem with predatory behavior on children in Hollywood, and they had a time limit for that. A statute of limitations for children. No. If that child grows up and is 80 and is like, you know what, I want to come forward and say something, then they should be able to say something and they should be able to get justice. There should be no time limit on justice. That seems to me like it is benefiting, follow the money, it's benefiting people in power. That's not benefiting us as average Americans or people who are going to, be victims of this. It's going to benefit people in power. It's going to benefit predators because it doesn't make any sense. And like Judge Judy says, if it doesn't make sense, it's probably not true. BBN is saying the statute of limitations were in place to protect elected officials. Really? Oh my goodness. That would make sense. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. Okay. So regarding Yes, Allie, I think the statute of limitations are to protect people in power and men. That's the only people I can think that this benefits, because a statute of limitations would never benefit a victim. You don't know if you're going to be able to come forward ever, let alone go, all right, I got 5 years. I got 5 years. So what? That seems freaking ridiculous to me. That is ridiculous. So right there, that is, I mean, again, this case and the recent things coming out about Nickelodeon and all those things, it started to make me think about this, something I honestly hadn't really put much thought into before, of the statute of limitations. It just was something that was always there. And so it was just the status quo. So you're like, well, that's just the way it is. But that's why it's always good to ask why, question everything. Well, why is that the way it is? Why should it be? Does it really protect us? Who is it serving and protecting here? So that is very, very sus. And we definitely need to abolish this strange statute of limitations that clearly isn't helping anyone. Because the only reason Cassie was able to get her lawsuit in is that there was some kind of, I believe, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but in New York City, they had extended the statute of limitations for people with lawsuits who have been through like DV, SA, things like that. And they got it in. They gave them like an extra year or some extra time. Okay. And Cassie and her attorneys were able to get it in before the end of the year. And that's the only reason she was able to file this lawsuit. Yes, Haru, I agree. If it seems to only protect the abuser. And like Denise is saying, excellent point. Many times, often, it takes decades for people to come forward. Decades. Yep. So the statute of limitations it's bullshit. It's bullshit. So back to this. So Diddy never expected it. So this is all according to the FBI, CIA agent, Tracy Walder. And now, since it stemmed from 2016, Cassie will not be able to file assault charges in Los Angeles, which is a travesty, in my opinion. It really throws water on Diddy and his legal team's argument that government used too much force in his search warrants. Walder continues, which is such a joke. Walder worked as a CIA agent for 6 years, starting in 2000, and then immediately worked for the FBI afterwards, where she was a special agent for years. She suspects that the music mogul knew of this video, knew of other things he had been accused of, though he was acquitted of his charges, knew he had an armed security team, and thus this was entirely inappropriate use of force. And we all remember the shooting in, 99 now, where there are still victims of that shooting speaking out going, it wasn't Shine, it was Diddy. It was Diddy do it, Diddy did it. And we're like, la, 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 la. I think maybe something will come down soon in terms of charges, but it is interesting it was released now. Welder adds, she alleges that either Cassie's attorney or the hotel gave CNN the footage, since the hotel only got paid $50,000 to keep it quiet, per Ventura's lawsuit. Also, if this is true about the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles, allegedly taking $50,000 in hush money from Diddy to keep this disgusting domestic violence incident with Cassie and Diddy secret, that is chump change. First of all, there's no amount of money that would keep me silent on something like this. But you could do that for $50,000. That makes you even more pathetic. I'm wondering if Cassie or her attorney are frustrated there haven't been criminal charges yet federally, and that's why they did this. I would imagine Sean Combs won't be fighting any civil cases now, adds Welder. In the past several months, 5 people have accused Combs of SA and similar allegations. In November, he was accused of drugging and SAing a woman named Joy Dickerson Neal when she was a college student at Syracuse in 1991. So this monster has been out there destroying people's lives for decades. This allegedly happened in 1991. And Joy Dickerson Neal, I believe you. 100% believe women. I believe you. The same day, Liza Gardner filed a lawsuit against him, claiming that he and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall took turns essaying her and a friend in New Jersey, per new court case documents, more than 30 years ago. A month later, Diddy was accused of SA by a fourth victim who alleged he, former Bad Boy Entertainment president, and a third individual labeled as third assailant of S trafficking and gang rape when she was 17 years old. Combs issued a blanket denial of all allegations against him in a statement to People in December. Enough is enough. For the last couple weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy, he said. The mogul added, sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and the truth. Yes, you did. No, you did. You did that. Yep. You did it, sir. You did it. My opinion, you did it. You did it. You did it. In February, Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a lawsuit alleging that Combs sexually harassed, drugged, and threatened him during their time working together. Following multiple allegations, Homeland Security raided Combs' properties in Los Angeles and Miami. Diddy's sons Justin and Christian were shown in handcuffs outside their Beverly Hills home on March 26th. I suspect they raided all residences at once to prevent the destruction of evidence. That's just a practice used when serving search warrants at multiple properties where evidence, computers, external, and hard drives and flash drives, etc., may be destroyed. It's about preservation, says Walder. This freaking monster. Let me pull up a different, let's see if I get a different picture here. So here's what that was. Shout out to the Talk of Shame. This is the first post I saw on this on Friday, when CNN had released the video. Let me upload a different pic here. Let's see, you guys. So, I mean, this is what they were saying on CNN, and I'll play the clip, but we will, if we do see, and I believe that there will be some kind of federal indictment that will come down against him regarding, you know, this S trafficking and these RICO charges and stuff. And then possibly, I think the gentleman was saying that they could use, like, federally, he could face consequences for this assault. And Cassie being, I think she, there's been tons of talk about her being a witness when the case is, when and if he is indicted and the case is tried federally. And if that does happen, you know, we'll be covering this, going, take Diddy down, take Diddy down. Power Resistance. He cooked. Okay. So you can still face federal charges, which that's good. That's good, because I think everyone's fear is that he will, you know, slip away and no charges. And now after seeing that video and reading the lawsuits, it's just like, how much do we need to hear before you arrest this man? I mean, it's ridiculous. Okay. So, let's see. So she is talking about the raided residence. Okay. So according to Walder, the FBI CIA person that People is talking to, the agent, she says, RICO charges are tough to beat, and it involves a very large defense team because there is a lot to go through. They're extremely complex, and it can take months or years to fully build out a criminal financial paper trail. They must prove a repetitive pattern that takes time, she continues. I don't think anything will be different here. Law enforcement does not give deference to people in Hollywood. Well, I hope not. All of this will have to go to a grand jury, and they will decide whether or not to issue an indictment. And I haven't seen the evidence, so I can't say whether or not he will be arrested. But I suspect an investigation will take time just based on the volume of evidence they have, she adds. A sentence of RICO can be 20 years. But I don't, again, she just says she doesn't know the evidence, so she can't, you know, say for sure. Um, so she doesn't know what the sentence for him would be, but the video is just enraging. And I hope everyone calling her gold digger feels awful. Me too. I hope they all feel really awful. People reached out to Combs and Ventura's attorneys and CNN's representation for comment about the specifics of the footage, but they could not immediately be reached because allegedly Diddy's in Miami or Bali with Russell Simmons or something, or Richardson, not Richard, poor justice for Richard Simmons. And so, and then he had to go on his Instagram to do that horrible, which I don't know if you guys caught it, but it clearly looks like he was reading something. It was like 56, it's like a minute apology, and you had to read something. So which ghostwriter wrote that for you, sir? Horrible. And then they put if you're experiencing DV, call the National DV Hotline, which is 1-800-799-7233, or you can go to thehotline.org. That's thehotline.org. They say all calls and communications are toll-free and confidential, and they're available 24/7. Thehotline.org and 1-800-799-7233. Freaking Diddy. Well, Aubrey O'Day, obviously, she's chomping at the bit to talk about this. And she says the picture is getting a lot more clear with Diddy after the 2016 Cassie assault video surfaces. So Aubrey O'Day, formerly of Danity Kane. I was going to say Danity O'Kane. Danity Kane, the Making the Band, back in the day, the big MTV hit series at the time, and Aubrey O'Day was one of the members of Danity Kane, and she's sharing her thoughts on the disturbing new footage of Sean Diddy Combs physically assaulting ex-girlfriend Cassie. After CNN released a surveillance video, she says, the picture is getting more clear for you all, I can imagine, wrote O'Day on Twitter, because it'll never be X to me, after previously speaking out about Combs' alleged mistreatment of women, including herself. And if you go back and you watch those old episodes of Making the Band, and just the misogyny and the sexism and holy shit, the early 2000s, like that, I mean, it's still wild, but it's wild. I would hope, but I don't even know, that there would be more outrage now. But I mean, the feedback. You okay, Tilly? The feedback that he was giving those women as their mentor, as their manager, was really disgusting. You okay there? Is your thing falling out? You okay? All right. Everyone's okay. We just moved to his little bed. Sorry, dogs. Producer Tilly. And the dogs are like, that's it. We're out of here. But everyone's fine. It's okay. You sit down, Teddy. It's okay. Poor Teddy. He's pacing. It's okay, buddy. Everyone's safe. I know loud noises are annoying. As you can see, the picture behind Tilly fell as her bed scooted forward. I wanted to make sure it didn't fall off the bookcase. So we're all okay. Just want to show you guys we're all okay. Sorry, that was probably really loud. Sorry, Teddy. You okay? Where's Buffy? Yep, Buffy's like, I'm sleeping. I slept through it. Okay. So, oh goodness. All right. So, here's a picture of Diddy and Cassie. So Aubrey O'Day is, saying that, I mean, I think the picture's becoming more clear. She also issued a warning alongside the assault footage. Everyone, who's been posting that has been doing that. O'Day then issued prayers to all his victims, mentioning Ventura and Combs' late ex, Kim Porter, who died at the age of 47 in 2018. Under, what people thought was very suspicious circumstances. Kim Porter is the mother of one of his sons and his twin daughters. And Kim Porter, I think, allegedly the coroner came back with pneumonia that killed her. But there's all these allegations of pretty horrific abuse against Kim Porter. And if you watch, there are some great videos here on YouTube of people doing deep dives into that and how long it took for them to come out with a cause of death and some mysterious death surrounding her, and I think there's more to investigate there. And so hopefully we will see some more investigation around Kim Porter, because there's a lot of talk. And, you know, if you watch Gene Deal, his interviews here on YouTube, if you just Google or search on YouTube Gene Deal, you know, there are people who worked as security for him, people worked with him who are very open now about sharing that he was physically abusive to Kim Porter, which is horrible. I saw that. Yeah. I mean, I don't usually like to listen to anything Candace Owens has to say, but she did say that Kanye West was right, that Diddy is a Fed CIA, and that's why he isn't locked up yet. And I know there's a lot of theories on that as well. So I don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, he's disgusting monster. So Aubrey O'Day has, you know, taken pretty much every opportunity to talk about just the mistreatment she felt that she got from Diddy, and also the speaking up for other victims of Diddy. And every time she's on a interview, or any woman that speaks out against him, I'm just like, get him again.
I'm just scoot on over and let you whack him. Get him again. Get him for me.
Done. Get him again. Get him for me, you know. Speaking of Stevie J, I don't know if he has said anything about this. You know, we have quite a few Diddy apologists, and he's definitely one, with weird instances surrounding him and Diddy's relationship, allegedly. And 50 Cent obviously is he is someone that has been very vocal on this whole Diddy situation, even to the point of his child's mother. He believed that she was working for Diddy, and she was
I'm just scoot on over.
I didn't mean to play that again. And we covered that in a previous No Offense, All Offense. It's just like, this shit, it goes so deep, but that she worked as like a sex worker for him, which is what? And at that time, I know that 50 was trying to, I think, get custody. So, it's just, yeah, I'm glad to see the truth is coming out as well. And it's amazing that Catradamus, you know, he told us 2024 liars will be exposed.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side. Period. All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
The truth is the light, in the words of Cat Williams. The truth is the light. I mean, it's crazy that this year started off with Cat's interview, and it was like he was predicting, telling us everything that was going to happen. We've had so many people, you know, as of now, May, be exposed, and many of the people that he's named. Now I've seen talk of, I mean, if you look at Twitter, you know, that a lot of people are saying, you know, Ashton Kutcher's next, Jay-Z's next. So I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm like, oh my God, you know, thinking that allegedly there are so many monsters among us. It's quite terrifying. But like I was saying, 50 has been reacting. So 50 Cent reacts to Diddy's apology over Cassie Ventura's hotel assault video. And so he didn't take long. This is 2 hours ago, according to billboard.com. It didn't take long for him to share his reaction to Sean Diddy Combs' apology over a 2016 video that appears to show the bad boy CEO assaulting his then girlfriend Cassie in a hotel. This is not going to work. Who is advising him right now? ? Shaking my head. Bad move. The G Unit boss, who has been relentless in his years-long feud of mocking Diddy, posted to his Instagram today, May 19th. On Sunday morning, Combs, we know he took to his social media to do this pathetic no apology. Saying things like, I went out and sought professional help. When? Some people are speculating, okay, so are you saying you sought mental help since Friday when the video came out? I took it as, and let me know what you guys think, but I took it as since 2016. That, don't worry, guys, I went and fixed it. Well, no, you haven't, because other allegations have come out. And you have been victim blaming and denying it. So how much help could you have really gotten? I don't see a therapist that would say you should be out here continuing the same behavior, allegedly, because there's allegations that he was, Young Miami, that he was also abusing her. So, and that is a recent relationship. I don't even know who he's in a relationship with now. I don't know. This man is a whole ass monster, the diddler, Maybe professional help means lawyers. I think it probably does. Professional help means like ayahuasca. He went and did one of those ayahuasca trips that the rich people do now. And they're like, I just have to go do some mushrooms. It's like, no, you have to go to jail, prison. Because I don't know how anything could help how disgusting the things that he's being accused of and that we've seen him do. I don't know what would help with that. Yeah, he's at the Meadows now, the same place Rachel Raquel went to, allegedly, according to Naomi. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's many rumors circulating about Ashton Kutcher. There's rumors circulating about Jay-Z. It's a lot. Bobby says RICO charges are the same as kingpin charges, which the latter carries an automatic 25 to life to convicted guilty to life if convicted guilty of RICO charges. Well, let's hope. Let's hope this man just goes. I'm so over it. I don't want to hear any more apologies. Take down your social media. I don't want to see you posting pictures of your sweet, innocent baby girls. I feel so sorry for them that they have you as a father. You're disgusting. And it sucks that we keep having to make this comparison to problematic men like this and say, but you have daughters, you have sisters. We shouldn't have to put it in terms like that. But this is the kind of guy, he hates women. He's a predator. He hates, and he's also, been accused of doing things to men as well, and assaulting them and being like a gatekeeper with his wiener. And in Little Rod's lawsuit, there's all kinds of specifics of that, of him kind of, pimping out people that work for him or, to his friends, including this guy, freaking Show Me the Money, Cuba Gooding Jr. It's like, sir, what? And you ruined that movie for me too. Thanks a lot, Speedo. Like, show him the prison. Show them all the prison at this point. It is so annoying. Just go away, sir. No one believes this tired apology. That's a no apology. Okay, so let's see what CNN is saying about what I was referencing earlier. Is they had some legal analysts on that were talking about how this video that came out Friday could influence his, if he is indicted, his upcoming, hopefully, federal case and charges. Hopefully that'll come. Jeez. But like Tracy Walder said, the FBI CIA agent to People magazine, it does take time to build a case. And what do they say? The FBI's success rate of like conviction is what, like 98% or something once you're indicted.
Now we see this awful video, which is more than 8 years old, And yet Diddy has still not been charged with anything. I would think there would be grounds for his arrest in that video. Why hasn't he been charged with anything?
Well, the video is out of the statute of limitations. The statute of limitations in California for a simple assault is a year. For domestic violence assault, it was 3 years. They've moved that up to 5 years, but this is out of range for a state charge in California. However, let's get back to that federal investigation. What HSI, Homeland Security Investigations, is doing, as Elizabeth framed it, is they are building a racketeering case, a RICO case based on human trafficking and allegations startlingly similar that track those that have been made in Cassie Ventura's lawsuit and in the lawsuit by another individual who worked for Combs that tell these stories of people being brought in the presence of weapons and drugs and so on. It's very much like what they did in the R. Kelly case, which got him 30 years in prison. So this charge, even though it's state crime is out of the statute of limitations, would be fair game in that federal case.
Julie, Cassie's law.
So that's good to know. It could be fair game in the federal case, in the federal RICO case. That's good to know that hopefully when he is, I'm just going to say when, because I'm hoping for it indicted, that this assault, which, yeah, I see, whose comment was it here? Asked Miss Olsen. Yeah, that was a simple assault. I mean, maybe change the wording, because there was nothing simple about that assault. And I don't know the, lawful judicial definition of simple assault, but maybe the wording seems to kind of, the way it's named seems to downplay it. But yeah, take it to Rico. Take it to Rico Suave. We want you to take that there.
Lawsuit claims that hotel security staff saw what was happening on surveillance and they urged her to go home. The lawsuit then claims that Diddy paid $50,000 to get that footage from hallway security. CNN has reached out to the hotel for comment, not a hotel I'll ever want to stay at. How serious would it be if they witnessed an assault, did not report it, and then accepted money to basically disappear the security footage?
Well, there's certainly a question of negligence on the hotel's part. And by the way, this just didn't happen in a hotel in LA. It's also, these kinds of incidents have been happening in hotels in Manhattan and in Miami Beach as well. So there presumably could be other video, because all these hotels have cameras. There presumably could be other video out there. And in addition, a couple of the other lawsuits that have been filed against him allege that there is video evidence. And that is exactly what authorities were trying to get their hands on when they conducted their searches of his homes in Miami Beach and in California and LA.
John, assuming that Sean Combs, Diddy, is eventually charged, how important might this video be?
Well, it's going to be very important to the assault charge. It's going to be very important to the credibility of Cassie Ventura as a witness. Remember, when she brought that law...
That's a great point. Is Cassie Ventura's, thankfully, her credibility just skyrocketed. I mean, she was always credible to me, but we saw so many people downing her credibility. However, I think this is the clip they're going to talk about, and I've seen other people talking about this, is that what they fear and what they're predicting that Diddy's... his counsel and him will try to pull the old, well, it was a volatile relationship and they were both abusive to each other. They're going to try to pull that, not just him, it was both of them bullshit. But no, Diddy, we've seen enough. We know.
Ben Brafman.
That woman she laid there. And even if she did fight back, you cannot go assaulting women like that, you weirdo.
His lawyer called it baseless, outrageous lies from somebody looking for a payday, claimed that she had tried to blackmail them, that she demanded $30 million. That video is stunningly supportive of her credibility, of her allegations. It unfolds exactly as she charged it did in her lawsuit. So it will help her if she becomes a witness in that case, and it will probably be a chargeable offense in the federal case if and when it comes.
Julie, the allegations against Diddy go far beyond Cassie's story, of course. Multiple lawsuits filed in the past year claim that Diddy hosted what he called freak-offs, sex parties so brutal that the young men and women would sometimes vomit and pass out.
So yeah, they're talking about the freak-offs and that. Let me fast forward just a little bit.
Sex trafficking case, and how did they get away with it?
Well, remember the Jeffrey Epstein case happened decades ago, so they didn't have cell phones, for example, or this kind of recording technology. So we're far ahead of that in this. And even though they have some of that material, I'm sure what they're also going to look for is bank accounts, evidence that he paid people, including people that provided him with underage victims. And that's really the key here is whether they're going to be able to show that he also was engaged with sex trafficking minors, which is a very far more serious crime because of, their age, and also the fact that he has all this, other video evidence that he was allegedly committing these kinds of offenses.
Julie K. Brown and John Miller, thanks to both of you. If you or someone you know is a victim of domestic violence.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, because there's, the alleged 16-year-old, I believe, giving him a lap dance or something. And allegedly one of his sons, I forget which one, was responsible for bringing the teenagers, the children, to these to some of these parties. So whatever was obtained during those FBI Homeland Security raids, they were definitely looking for any kind of, allegedly they were looking for any kind of footage that before it was destroyed, that from these parties, maybe things he had bought off, hotel security type stuff, anything before its destruction. But this has been going on for so many years. Just think of all of the evidence that has possibly been destroyed. And also think of, but on the other hand, people like this, we see these like sick criminals, serial killer types, they always tend to want to keep proof of their atrocious, disgusting crimes, and almost as like souvenirs and things. And Diddy allegedly used some of these videos where people were being filmed at these parties of his doing these things, being drugged and then being assaulted or performing certain, sex acts. He would use this as leverage, manipulation, blackmail, allegedly against people. There's just so much in so many allegations against this man, so many things. I hope that we do see him indicted soon, because we got to stop this damn monster wherever he is. We can't. And if he is in some kind of tropical place, if he did leave the country, which is he still? Because he wasn't supposed to leave the country. Oh, hey, producer Tilly. Is that still the case? I don't know. So not LeBron. Oh God, LeBron. The thing about the Diddy parties too is there could have been, I've heard people speaking on this too, not to like absolve LeBron. I don't know what's going on, but I'm like, oh, I like LeBron. But again, so many people are getting outed as just monsters. There were these were at large locations and there were lots of rooms. And some people said they would leave Diddy parties at a certain time, knowing that maybe something might happen. Hey, producer Tilly, that they weren't going to be down with, or maybe they were in a different room and didn't know what was going on. I mean, it is a little hard to believe that you're at a party. I mean, I guess I've been at parties before in my youth when I used to have a life. And I guess something could have been happening in another room that I didn't know about. But if this was an ongoing thing, that these parties would turn into these freak offs and all this stuff, you would think that there would be talk around it. So I think there are a lot of people that we're going to find if this does go to court. There were a lot of people who were complicit to this, who might have known about it and didn't say anything. And there's some people that are going to feel as though Teddy, sit down, is that they couldn't go up against someone named Diddy, someone like him, because of his power, money, connections, all those things. So we'll see. But yeah, Cammie, these industries, no one is talented enough to be absolved or get away with this kind of abhorrent behavior. Nobody. This is so gross. And a lot of times, to me, it's almost grosser the people who aren't the monsters, who hide things for the monsters. in the name of money. I'm not talking about people who are victims themselves or other women who are too afraid to come forward. I'm more talking about people who look the other way for the almighty dollar, or certain industry people who protect him because he makes so much money for them. It's like, have they never heard of dirty money? Like, you can't take this shit with you. And if these people always want to, it's always these guys these predator guys, they're always, like I said, they're always, oh, and God, and all of a sudden, they're in trouble. So now they call on God. And I can guarantee you that God would be like, why am I involved? Where have you been? Where have you been? Where were you when the good stuff was happening? Why now? Why are you calling me out? And who is this? It's even with Diddy's apology. And he's like, let's play this part one more time, because these are the parts that really get me. This is the kind of religious manipulation. And these are the same people you'll see come in the comments and go, who are we to judge? A human. That's who I am. And I'm going to judge, because when you are assaulting and sex trafficking women and children, I'll judge for you. That's okay. I'll be Judge Judy all day, every day. He is not absolved because he suddenly found God. Newsflash, he wasn't missing. Everyone's like, I found Jesus. He's never been missing. He's always been at the same place. You lost him. Maybe you got bad directions. Maybe the Google Maps wasn't working for you, but it was working for everybody else. If we wanted to find God, we knew where to find him. So all of a sudden they're like, I found him. It's like, he was never missing. No one had filed a missing persons report. No, not fair to then call out God. So here
I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now.
Was disgusted then. Were you, sir? So much so that it became a pattern, allegedly, of behavior for you?
I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy.
What kind of therapy? How long? By who? What'd you do? Cognitive behavior? Like, what did you do? Huh? Who cares? People go to therapy for much less, just to be better people overall and have a greater understanding of themselves.
I'm going to rehab.
No, you didn't.
Had to ask God.
Why would you ask him to do such a huge act that is impossible? Why would God grant mercy on you as you sit on your hill of millions, billions? Why would? Isn't there a saying? I mean, I'm not a biblical scholar here. I'm not a theologist or anything, but isn't there a saying like a rich man doesn't have I'm paraphrasing, and please, my theologist people, my people that know the Bible, isn't there a point, isn't where they say it's easier to put something through the eye of a needle than a rich man getting to heaven, putting a horse or something? And I'm paraphrasing. Then these really rich men that hoard all their money. Yeah, Sinister Girls, God is like, new number, who dis? I know, you're making us feel sorry for you, as Beach is asking, because we don't want mercy for you. We don't care. So I'm pretty sure God's like, not today. I'm busy trying to save children and stuff. No.
God for his mercy and grace.
Yeah, we also, thank you. We don't care about your relationship with God. Where was your relationship with God when you were doing all this shit? People hide behind religion and hide behind God, and it's disgusting. And only when they do these appalling things. And it's the pause. Look down, try to cry. I saw not a teardrop.
I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
What? By what? Running off? How are you committed in being a better man? What are you doing? Like you were to Lil Rod, allegedly? Was that the better man? Or when you tried to pimp him out to Cuba Gooden Jr.? Or when you were hanging out with your alleged drug mule so that you could drug people? When was the better men part? Just because you say it doesn't make it true. We're going to need receipts. Once you get to this point, it's going to turn into Bravo television. and we need you to provide receipts, sir.
Receipts, proof, timeline, screenshots, everything.
Leave God out of it, and we need receipts. Busy Blue, my friend, thank you so much. Busy Blue in the chat says, we all know that you have to wait 48 to 62 centuries before you can file a missing God report. Oh, see, I need to be up on my theology law. That's why it took so long for Diddy to find him. Oh, Busy, that's a great point. How could I be so stupid? Oh, you guys, if you're not subbed to my wonderful friend Busy Blue, he is on his way to 10K, and he's hilarious. And we do a lot of collabs together, and he's my friend. So go show him love and subscribe to him. Busy or mods, feel free to drop his link to his channel in the live chat. He covers a whole bunch of Bravo television shows, pop culture news, and things like that. You won't regret following my friend Busy Blue. Let me let the kitty out here, and we'll do a little away in the manger. Speaking of the Lord, that Diddy is disrespecting. How dare you, sir, bring up the Lord in your bullshit. A little Lisa Barlow, away in the manger to cleanse it.
Away in a manger, no crib for his bed. Nope, it's not gonna work. Hold on.
Totally, that's like off.
Totally. That's like off. Okay, let's move on from the Diddy of it all, because we have another weird story. You guys. Okay, so we've previously talked about the Joe Wenberg. Okay, Joe Wenberg, Tom Schwartz, Vanderpump Rules. Tom Schwartz has come forward, and he was on Kristen Doute's podcast. We played it, I think, yesterday's episode of No Offense, All Offense. And he was like, listen, I don't talk to Joe anymore, even though I brought her on the show and pretended we dated and weaponized her against Katie Maloney. I don't talk to her anymore. I'm never going to talk to her. He told us he caught her in egregious lies. So now we have Kristen Doute, Sheena, and Tom Schwartz, her ex-situationship, who brought her on this season of Vanderpump Rules, telling us that this woman, Jo, or Kaylee Jo Wenberg, her birth name, she's some kind of liar who doesn't belong on reality TV, they told us, but they won't give us the specifics to what she has lied about. So they're out there just going, she's bad news. And, there's been all these like rumors of that she was allegedly possibly kicked out of some establishments like Jax's Bar and what do you possibly have to do to get kicked out of Jax's Bar? Jax? What are Jax's standards? I didn't think he had any, Yes, hit that like almost at 350. We have 736 in the live chat. Thank you. So we've all been like, just tell us. They've all been hinting and dancing around this thing that there's this problem with Joe and she's a liar, but there's so much more. And Schwartz says if the fans knew the real reason that he stepped away from their situationship and doesn't want her in his life anymore, that we would be like, Schwartz, we understand. We would be apologizing to him. Like, sorry, we misjudged you. And that she's not the victim of their relationship. Well, I don't think she's the victim, but he's definitely not the victim. But I think he is, he does not treat women well at all. And he's got his own issues similar to Tom Sandoval in that way. So Joe has been doing quite a few, we'll say, interesting Instagram lives. She's found the live button on the Instagram. And she regularly has been using it. And we've covered some of those over here. And at times we've wondered what's happening. Is this a mental health thing? Is this an addiction thing? Oftentimes she appears intoxicated in her videos. It looks like she's really struggling. We've also wondered, is she manipulating all of us? Is this like a Dirty John situation, but instead Dirty Joe? As people kind of look into her background, is she really this like, I had no idea what reality TV would be like? Or was she always on the peripheral? Was she always waiting to kind of get in? Because she has been in LA for many, many years. If you look at her Instagram, she has pictures with, celebrities she styled their hair, and Jason Mraz. And she was, formerly Kristen Doute, one of her best friends, and then just completely left Kristen Doty and stopped being friends with her when she decided to move in with Tom Schwartz. I found, because I got to do a little bit of investigating here. So as I was, investigating, some call it stalking, I call it investigation discovery. Okay. So I found a couple interesting things on her Instagram. All right. She did a live recently and we'll talk about that. But I also found, let me send these to myself, that was it 2016? We'll see. Let me pull it up here. That she has surrounded herself with quite a few people connected to Bravo. So as much as she might say, oh, I just did this show because Schwartz wanted me to, it's like, okay, but it looks like she's really been in the Bravo culture for a little bit. So this is 2018, and look and this is her Instagram, who she is pictured with. And if you recognize that person, that is, I believe her name is Darren. So let me just look it up to be sure. Darren Bravo. Darren Karp. Okay. So Darren Karp it appeared like she was Andy's kind of assistant person, but I don't know if she's technically not his assistant, but she works for Bravo and she has that in her Instagram bio. Bravo personality. She had like I think she has probably a podcast with Andy's little Sirius XM channel, right? And like I said, it says works with Andy Cohen. The best there ever was, she posted a picture of her and Andy Cohen 2 days ago. The best there ever was is and will be 15 years of Watch What Happens Live in the 100th season of Housewives. So she's been working with him and Watch What Happens Live in Bravo for 15 years, maybe? She seems young, but everyone has seen Darren around. I don't know what her exact title is, but I'm like, oh, there's her with Darren from Bravo. In 2018, it's 2024. So she's been around she has a lot of ties. Okay. Oh, yes. And thank you, Jen. And Kyle Chan told us he caught her in some lies. So everyone's like, she's lying, she's lying, she's lying, she's lying. And thus is why we will bring up the dog. So there's been all these people who, her only allies at this point in the Bravo world who were in the Bravo world, I think are like Rachel Raquel. Maybe Lala. I don't know. Okay. So Joe recently, so after all this stuff went down where she went live and she exposed some of Schwartz's texts, and Schwartz in his text was like, you need to leave me alone. Don't talk about me or my girlfriend. You have like unhinged, erratic behavior online. I'm worried about you. You're using manipulative language, all these things. And she read these texts on an Instagram live that she deleted, but we covered last week, I believe. Now she's saying, after all this has come out of Schwartz, like, I don't want to be with you. We're never going to have a relationship. Because on some of these Instagram lives, she was like, well, it's just not a good time. He has a girlfriend. And it seemed like she was still pining after him, obviously, and thinking there was hope for the future of her and Schwartz. Well, now, all of a sudden, and I will say, there's something to be said, I guess, for coincidences, right? But now she is saying that her dog, her beloved dog Checkers, who shows up on her Instagram, that Checkers needs money for a vet bill. So she started a GoFundMe, you guys. The lady who all the Vanderpump people are saying is a liar. Okay, thank you, Natashki. Yeah, Darren has a couple of podcasts and is a host on Bravo and other NBC Universal shows. Okay, so previously her dog Checkers had lost an eye due to glaucoma. So when she had the dog for quite a few years, and I think he just lost his one of his eyes within the last couple of years. Now she's saying he might lose another eye, but it's all very it's weird. It's cryptic. We're even on the GoFundMe, which we'll pull up here. There isn't, you would think if this was for like a vet bill or you wanted help to save your dog's eye, you would have kind of like a breakdown of this. It just seems sus. Let's listen. And, a lot of us, some of us in the chat have agreed that when she does these lives, she's like manhandling this pup. I think it's clear that she loves this dog. Okay. But there are so many times she's like erratically going live and she's grabbing and rubbing where his eye was and grabbing his face. And you can tell the dog, who she says is 12 years old, you can tell that he just wants to go to sleep. He wants to lay down. And she's always grabbing him and shoving him in front of the camera, and he's uncomfortable. And you will see this here. So I've only watched this once, so I'm going to watch it again. The first time, it made me really mad. So let's watch it again. Please give a thumbs up if you can hear it once I start it. You can see Checker is on her lap. This is from yesterday, I believe. Oh God, poor Chick. I just want to save that little dog.
Hi, you guys. Okay, so what I wanted to talk about was
thank you, Denise.
Checkers. So I wanted to, because there were so many questions that I wanted to really answer, and these are the 5 questions that were the biggest ones. That it's okay, baby. He's got his eye is being okay. So, the best part about Checkers is I'll just give you a little bit of a little backstory. So I got him as named Goldfish because he would eat all the time, and he was consistently, because goldfish eat until they explode.
Okay, as you can see, again, the dog clearly wanted to get away. She's like, lay down. She's like, she's always doing this thing where she's rubbing on his snout and his eye. And if you know anything about dogs, it's not like their favorite place. There's certain ways you can touch it, but they can be kind of finicky around that. And so she's rubbing the area where he just got the eye removed. And human hands are dirty and you're like spreading, you'll see as we go along. I'm already pissed off and we just started this. Sorry.
Explode. Lovely. The other thing I loved about him is that he was also named Checkers because he would check up on everybody. It's okay. You can go lay down. It's okay. You can go. Yeah. Oh, so sorry. 1 second.
I'm a strong believer that dogs pick up on your energy. Right, Teddy? And her energy is so erratic that this poor dog is like, every chance he gets, he's beelining it away from being like in a chokehold from her of whatever she thinks love is. And then he's like looking back at her like nervously, like, is she going to pull me again? Am I going to get away? I'm not liking this. Okay. Thank you, Gemini, for the super sticker.
See, he still has his growl and his bark. He's right here, so that's good.
Thank you, artist. Do you see how when she went? Okay, let's listen. He growled, and she's so dismissive of his, like he's telling you something. Like Teddy's looking at me right now. There's a chance he could do a bark soon. Like, Mom, I need to go outside and go TT. We need to get up. We've been in here for an hour 32. My patience is wearing, but she's so dismissive of it. And that bothers me.
About him is that he was also named Checkers because he would check up on everybody. It's okay. You can go lay down. It's okay. You can go. Yeah. Oh, so sorry. 1 second. See, he still has his growl and his bark. He's right here, so that's good. The first question was, why was Checkers named Checkers? It was because he was always checking on people, and also he just couldn't stop checking on people. And then the second question was, what's his favorite food? His favorite food is everything. And then everyone's been asking about like the glaucoma. So what happens is
she grabs him again.
The fluid cannot drain from his eye. And I didn't know this. This was Christmas 2022. And I had gone, I had seen that there was like something very like off with him. Like there was something that There was something very off. I know, baby.
Okay, speaking of dogs, I am going to see Teddy is signifying to me like, hey, Mom, I got to go outside. So I'm going to keep playing this video for you guys, and you can watch it. I'll have it in my ear, and then we'll come back and comment on it. But my initial thoughts is she's just grabbing at him. She's trying to explain this GoFundMe she now has for his other eye. She's asking for, I think, $3,500. It's just ridiculous. But thank you, Gemini Joe and Artists, for the super chats. I appreciate that, you guys. Okay, yeah, stop putting him in a headlock. It's worrisome. I think her behavior itself is worrisome, and I'm worried for this dog. Okay, so I'm going to keep playing it, you guys, and I'll be right back.
With, let me just get back to the third question. The third question is, how did Checkers lose his eye? Okay, so there was a moment in November of 2022. I was heading home to Wisconsin, and I actually remember, I won't say his name, but I remember somebody saying there's something wrong. And I remember thinking, yeah, there definitely is something wrong. And so he was kind of like increasing the amount of times he would kind of scratch his head with like, or his eyeball with like his paw, or he would kind of, you know, not necessarily, but he would just kind of like scrape his eye, but not both eyes. It was just one eye. And so I was like, oh my gosh, there's something wrong. And it almost looked like his eye was going to explode. So it was almost like his eyeball was like, so then I remember we went to the vet on Christmas Eve of 2022, and my dad, being a doctor, looked at me and looked at him and said, we need to take him to the vet. So we went to the local vet. We had flown from California to Wisconsin for Christmas. And we went to the vet on Christmas Eve, 2022. And I remember, or 2023, oh my gosh, it was just I don't even know. It's been like way too long. And the reason why I said I will not name that person, it's not Tom. It's because I don't want to name my brother. It's just nix the Vanderpump shit. As I just named my brother. And so I remember going to the vet, and he like leaned in and he looked at me and he was like, because it's mid-COVID, and he leaned in and he was like, there's two things wrong, because you couldn't go into the vet's office because you had to drop your dog off and then you had to pick him up after because of COVID. And so he said there's two things. One, he needs to lose his eyeball. And then also two, he needs to get rid of his eyeball tonight. And I remember crying and being like, crap. So that's how he lost his eyeball. The reason why he got, and then the fourth question you guys were asking was, why did he get glaucoma in the first place? Don't worry, it's not like a genetic thing. I guess it can be, but what happens is glaucoma is basically like a very like, his eyeball like couldn't drain fluid. It's not like his eyeball couldn't like drain properly, like the fluid, right, coming out of his eye. So it like caused like this increased pressure, and it was like pounding out, like his eyeball was like expound, like, and so we thought, oh shoot, it's a tumor. Like, what else is pushing somebody's eye out to like almost look like it's going to explode? And so it's hard to spot it. It's also really hard to spot it in dogs, so they don't really express pain as we do as humans. But I remember the next day, Christmas morning, Checkers came bounding out of the vet, so happy with the cone on his head, one eyeball like bounded up. And now we're in the next progression of what glaucoma can actually do to a dog. So glaucoma can then actually spread to the other eye. And that's what we're dealing with now. And that's why I wanted to see like if you guys could help out with the vet bills. But at the end of the day, like, I noticed he was rubbing his eye on the floor a lot, and he was being like very careless with like his pain, and like very like I could just see that he was kind of like trying to like, you know, he's got this one closed and he's like trying to like, and I'm like, oh no, not again. So the vet was like, yes, glaucoma did spread from his eye to the other eye, and then there must have been like a tear in the lens, because the fifth or sixth question I wanted to answer was what also, I think I'm kind of going in circles here, but the beautiful part is that I think he ran into not the beautiful part, but I think he ran into like a stick, because he kind of came back like wincing, and I was like, oh, not again, you know, because I didn't see the first time it had happened. But I mean, at least we do know now, you guys, for his other eye, it's not a tumor pushing it out. What it is we think it's like, yes, thank goodness. There's no cancer, there's no tumor. We just think that there's definitely some type of like glaucoma that is transferred from his one eye to the other. And we've done his medication treatments, we've done the eye drops, we've done like the swirling of his blood. I know. And like he's just been consistently having like increased pressure and pain. So we think that it's definitely going to be potentially, I mean, I'll just say this. It's a good and a bad thing to know that I actually could spot the signs, because it's not easy to spot the first time, but now I can finally spot the second time. But the vet did say to me that glaucoma can spread from 1 to 2 eyes, well, as if we have like 5 eyes. But it's very easy to spread from the first to the second. And your second one can be involved shortly after with a dog. So that's the answer. We're just trying to make sure that we can just drain his fluid properly and just, keep him in good spirits and like 10 out of 10 kid. And I just wanted to explain to you guys like what is going on and what has been going on. And at least, he's still eating. Literally, he's eating everything. He got into my Doritos. I mean, can Doritos cause glaucoma? Probably. Who knows? He got into my hot dog this morning. Yes, I do eat hot dogs for breakfast. And by hot dog, I just mean like the little butt of the thing. And so he's just a little goldfish. Goldfish will eat until they explode. And I know that for sure that's obviously not connected to why dogs get glaucoma, but women and men can get glaucoma too. And it's hard to spot it in dogs. So if you ever feel like your dog is like in pain or like a little lethargic or like a little uncomfortable or something that's like very, what's the word? Like, cause he would just kind of like do this a lot, like a cat. And I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? And it took, my dad to like spotlight that as a doctor and be like, well, your dog has glaucoma. We need to take him to the vet. And then he came up bounding, so happy. So we think that the next one's going to have to happen. But I just wanted to explain to you guys that he's doing good and we love him so much. And that is, yes, he's a little baby. Yes, it's a good boy. Say hi. It's okay. We got to put the cone on him in about, I don't know, like probably like an hour. And then he's a little baby. He's a little boy. And then we're going to put his eye drops in and we're going to see how it goes. So like, let's all just kind of like put out in the universe that he doesn't have to lose his eyeball. So, but the vet bills, my goodness gracious, are you an expensive little nugget? You an expensive little boy? He's a little baby. I love you so much. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Oh, see, he can't see where he's going. Oh, see, he's still barking. He's still barking.
You guys, yes, of course, the dog is still barking. The dog is like, what the frick? What are you doing? Why are you manhandling me like this? This energy from her is disturbing, to say the least. This poor dog, first and foremost, you work for Lisa Vanderpump. She is a dog saver, okay? Why do you not go to Lisa Vanderpump before you go to Instagram with this weird live saying that you need money for the vet, okay? My problem is with all this erratic behavior and all of these people insinuating that you are an egregious liar, according to them, I worry that is this money going to go toward that? How do we know that it would in fact go toward that? How can we trust, but first and foremost, go to Lisa Vanderpump, that's what you should be doing. I guarantee Lisa in a second. I mean, she paid off the guy that did a sex tape that had Stassi's sex tape. Remember that? Far more money than Joe's asking for in this. Let's see what if I can find it here in this GoFundMe. She loves animals. Okay, so let's look at she hasn't raised much more than last night. So last night, I think it was the same amount. I think everyone's kind of feeling the same way of, I want to help that dog. I just want to take Checkers, come to my house. He would be at the vet right now. Okay. Okay. Let me show you this. GoFundMe. But first things first, talk to Lisa Vanderpump. She has a whole Vanderpump Dogs. She probably knows people. She knows great veterinarians, and she could give $3,500 to you, like, no joke. Okay, so this is weird. Yesterday, the goal, if I remember correctly, and those of you who were in my Night Pants with Nana, members only, Patreon only live, wasn't it? So the amount keeps changing. We know also, here's the other thing. Here's where my skeptical hat comes on as well. We know she also has these weird like living situation where she had to like leave her house abruptly, going to Schwartz when Kristen Doty was like, I have a whole 2-bedroom apartment you could stay in, and you didn't. And then now she's living with like 2 roommates. Another thing is your dad is a doctor. Ask Dr. Dad for some money before you go asking strangers. I know we do have some vets that are on the lean team. So if you're here, feel free to sound off. Lisa has probably made, yes, at least $3,500 since this live started. Yes, exactly. So the amount's changing. That's a red flag. All the, a lot of the Bravo people saying she's a liar. That's okay. So Andrea, you remember that too. It was like 3,500 yesterday, 34, 35, something around there. The amount's changing. People are saying you're a liar. The amount's changing. Your erratic behavior. And why are you not getting this dog checked regularly? How did this just sneak up on you after you lost one eye? Normally they monitor these sort of things. I know for myself, I feel like I'm at the vet all the time now with 2 dogs and a cat. And my cat is, Tilly. She's a lady of a certain age now. And she has early stage kidney disease. And she also goes in monthly. She gets like cortisone type shots in her back because she has one of her discs, she has arthritis, and we were noticing she was having some mobility issues. And these shots, there's commercials from, I forget what they're called. Someone in the chat probably knows the name of them. They give them to her and she moves like she's a kitten, but it's a monthly shot. We have to take her in. And then with early stage kidney disease, she's much more prone to UTIs. So never in all the years we adopted Tilly, we rescued her in 2010, had I ever seen her have a UTI. But since her diagnosis, she's had 2. And we have antibiotics for it now. I feel like, and now we're monitoring that regularly and making sure she gets her blood work and all that stuff. So it's like you already had your dog lose one eye, which, you don't know if your dog's going to have glaucoma. You can't blame someone for that, but it's weird. You got a Dr. Dad. You have connections to Lisa Vanderpump. Also, Exhibit D, and I talked about this on our Night Pants with Nana last night. I literally had a cat, Gracie, and this was, I adopted her, and I had her for a couple years. She was the best cat, and she developed a very, they didn't know what it was. They did all these tests. It was some kind of intestinal thing. And it was just like, what the hell? She's like a young cat. She was just like my bestest friend. And then one night she just was getting progressively worse because when Joe says, oh, animals won't show. Yeah, they will. Cats hide. Dogs definitely show when they're in pain. And Checkers is clearly speaking to you. You're just not listening to him. There are literal YouTube videos you could watch to learn how to communicate with your pets. It's not that hard to figure out. Okay. So she was hiding more. So we're like, okay, let's go. We got to go to the emergency vet. The vet had run a bunch of tests. They didn't know what it was. And then at the emergency vet, they ran more tests and they said, we're going to do the surgery. And they gave me the 50-50, will it work? And I said, so there's a 50% chance you can save her? Let's do it. It ends up being $5,000. At the time, I'm 29 years old. I had just got a relationship I was in for a long time. I was early dating hype man husband Chell, my now husband. I didn't have $5,000 for the surgery. I said, what can I do? They had a care credit. So I took out a care credit. Now, maybe, as people were saying yesterday, maybe she can't, maybe her credit's bad. I don't know. But I feel like those kind of things, even if your credit it's got to be pretty bad. But maybe things have changed. I don't know. So I took out this care credit. They gave her the surgery. She made it through the surgery. Unfortunately, my little sweet Gracie passed away. soon after the surgery when she was still recovering in the hospital. I had just visited her, and then they called me and they said, she went into cardiac arrest, and it was horrible. And anyone who's lost a fur baby, that feeling. It's like your family member. And I'm getting to the point now, all these years later, where I can talk about it. But for a long time, I wouldn't even talk about it because I feel like I failed her. Like maybe if I would have done something sooner, maybe if I would have caught something, if I would have, and it was just one of those things. So granted, this could happen to Checkers, but then being the stand-up comedian in me was like, there were jokes to be made. The fact that I was still paying off my deceased kitty years after she had passed away, when she's in kitty heaven. But that's like when you have a pet, like a family member, those are the things you do. But I was like, which probably didn't help me, mourn her when every month I'm writing out a check at the time, or however I was paying it, to Care Credit to pay off a dead cat. You know what I mean? But R.I.P. Gracie, she was just the best. She was so wonderful. And I was lucky to have her. But so my point is, get the Care Credit, contact LVP, ask daddy a doctor. My dad's not a doctor. My dad was a truck driving teamster, and I would even have asked my dad. You know what I mean? Instead of turning to the public in this weird way. Also, you're already selling your merch. You have a career as a hairdresser. What's going on here? These things just aren't adding up. I know it's hard times and we're all struggling, but why are you turning to? We know that Joe seemingly came from a pretty, I'll say privileged background. She went to very expensive private colleges, one in which I know all too well because I grew up near there. And then another one in Wisconsin. So one in Minnesota. So I'm like, what's the real deal, Ally McBeal? What's really going on? Right? And $3,500 is literal, Lizzie, it's rent in LA. But again, she lives with like 2 or 3 roommates. So something is going on here. I know the more I see about her, so she's still at 986. And yesterday, I think she was around the same when we looked at it yesterday afternoon, around the same amount. Okay. And this is the only description she's giving. 3 years ago, Checkers lost an eye due to glaucoma, and now it seems to be affecting his other eye. His medical bills are piling up. And though I never wanted to ask, I need help, all caps, okay, with the payments. His remaining eye is turning glossy, and our vet suggests it might need to be removed due to the spread. Any assistance would be greatly appreciated. I love my baby. Get him to the doctor. I feel like these Vanderpump people, the same with Rachel Raquel, they're too busy drinking and banging people they shouldn't be banging. You're 36, ma'am. This is your baby. Get in there now. I have so many questions. Does he need something immediately? Because if that's the case, I'll shoot you my address, drop him off here. I got a vet right down the street. We'll live there until we figure out how we can help this dog. So you mean to tell me you're on live manhandling him, putting all your, germs on him in his eye, like I am right now in my own eye due to allergies, and he might lose the eye? Like, do you need something right now to make it so that he doesn't lose? I don't want him to lose the eye. I need more specifics. This is like, what? Someone said, I don't know much about glaucoma. I need to talk to my husband, Chell, about this because he's at school right now, but when he comes home, because Irel says glaucoma doesn't spread. I don't know what she's talking about. I know my father-in-law has glaucoma, but what's really going on with this dog? What's really happening? Can we send this video to Lisa Vanderpump? Is that weird? Can we all shoot it in her DMs? Like, hey, can you help Joe out? Has anyone tweeted her? Does anyone have contact with her? Like, I'm honestly asking, does anyone know how to get in contact directly with Lisa Vanderpump? Can she save this dog? Is this even real? So Irel says, Jolene, I suffer from advanced glaucoma. So she was saying it's not hereditary. I'm like, I thought glaucoma was, because my husband, they always say he's got to get checked since his dad hasn't. Okay. And then she says, well, some can be. This, what? What's really the story? Right? Don't blind him. Jippity bippy. I'm with you 100%. My heart was just like, oh my God, this sweet baby senior dog at this point. I mean, is 12 senior for that type of dog? I think she said it was 77 in people years. But justice for Checkers. I mean, and you're putting this out there, so you're going to get people, wanting to call the ASPCA and save this dog. Your behavior is very erratic. We're not getting any specifics on, well, what's the treatment plan? Put that when you're asking people for their money for something as important as this, what's the treatment plan? Because every time I go to the vet, I get paperwork printed out and emailed to me. So I can look back, I file it so I can know, okay, Tilly had this last time, this happened. Buffy had this, Teddy had this. It's not like we're talking about a 22-year-old girl on a show. She's like 36-year-old woman. This is your baby. I don't know. I guess Irul would be the person to ask, does glaucoma hurt? But oh my God. It's when high ocular pressure affects the nerve that connects the brain. Rachel says it actually can spread in dogs and it's urgent AF. Thank you, Rachel, for the information. It's just so like, go live. Why doesn't she go live and tell us this is exactly what I need and what, I should say, this is exactly what Checkers needs. Here's a treatment plan. Here's how much it's going to cost. Because I also, before my vet does anything, they itemize. Here's how much it's going to cost. Like recently with Tilly's UTI, since she got one so soon after the other, they said, we don't just want to do one kind of urinalysis. We want to send it to the lab to do like a more, more in-depth look at other functions and things. And so I was like, yes. And they're like, if you just do the basic, it's this much. If you do the basic and the more in-depth, it's this much. I always say, give me the in-depth. That's my baby. Okay. You would have that. So this is just like, what kind of life is that? When you can save his eye. I'm sorry, this live hasn't been as fun as I wanted it to be, but these are like, yes, exactly, Cammie. If Lisa can save Lucy Juicy Apple, or Lucy Strucy Apple Juicy, Lucy Apple Juicy, and Hippie, she can save Checkers. We have to. We gotta get a hold of Lisa. We really. Normally, I would be like, I'm not contacting anybody, the cast, but honestly, right? That's a great point that someone brought up yesterday too, Nacho Mama. If I donate for an animal, I'd send the money directly to the vet, not the GoFundMe. Yes, give us the number to the vet. We will send money to I will send it today. I will send money today. I will give some money today. I bet a lot of other people will as well. Because how long does it take for you to get the GoFundMe money? I don't know. I've never done a GoFundMe. So I don't know. But, oh my gosh. We want, I bet you there's 723 of you here. I bet you there's like freaking 500 of you that would try to send something if we were sending it directly, knowing it was going to Checkers and directly to the vet. Also, hit up Sandoval. You've been sticking up for him despite the revenge P. He sends Sheena and Brock money during the Panakuchen. Surely he'll send money for Checkers. Well, I don't know. He didn't take care of his own animals, so maybe not. Right, Karen? I don't want this dog is so adorable and he's so sweet. He's getting manhandled by this erratic woman who I know she loves him, but you have to be responsible. What the fuck are you doing? That live just made me so mad. And your dad's a doctor. Where are her parents? I know she's 36, but she mentioned her dad and he's a doctor. I don't know. It's crazy. Madge says, I can't believe this subject is being covered. Well, I mean, I guess I don't know why you can't believe it, because she put it out on the internet and asked people for money. So that's why we're covering it. If we didn't know, if this was just her going, oh, my dog, and I'm taking it to the vet, we'd be like, oh, hope Checkers gets better, but the fact that she was like, this is vital. He might lose his eye. I need your help. I can't pay the bills. We're going to talk about it. So, if that's what you meant, that's why, I guess. Cammie says, I can't even imagine how much pain Checkers is in. I had 15-year-old Bashan, and she was sleeping at the time and liked being alone a lot. It is ridiculous, Madge. I believe it's 100% ridiculous that she's even putting us in a situation where we got to worry about someone else's dog when a 36-year-old woman can't care for her own dog. And has she addressed whether she's reached out to Lisa Vanderpump? Because I know people in her comments have definitely mentioned that. Let's see if she has answered any of them. Oh, God, I am just so tired of this woman. Why do they not, similar to like Big Brother and other shows that we cover and watch, do they not have like psych evals, things? I mean, people who are clearly dealing with something. The last place they belong is on a TV show and on this kind of platform, you know? Oh my God. All right, let's see what people are saying here. Let me share my screen, and then I got to get off because I got to start. I got visitors coming over because it's game 7. Go Timberwolves tonight. Okay. Glorified Gossip Girl says, I'm sorry about your dog, but as a fur baby mama, maybe be careful touching around the eye area as much. Truly not being rude. It's fine. He seems to be okay and content just laying on you without the camera on him the whole time, maybe. But the eye area where his eye was is very sensitive, and obviously the other one is as well. I hope his eye gets better, but he seems resilient. Sending Checkers love, which is a really nice way to put that. Have you been to his vet? Someone's asking, and been given an estimate? I don't see it on your GoFundMe. Thank you. Bits and pieces of love. See, people are like, seems pretty off. Seems really off. Doesn't add up. The story's all over the place. No answer for when his surgery is scheduled as listed in the GoFundMe, but can't remember when the other eye came out. Also, she's like mid-pandemic. 2022 and 2023 was not mid-panakuchen. That was not in that. No. Huh? And I was trying to do a little research again of when he might have lost his eye, just looking at pictures that she had posted with her adorable pup. And I mean, I really couldn't. I think he still had it back in whatever date this was. Oh my God. It's just like, why do I have to do all this? It is a Sunday, ma'am. I am trying to watch the NBA playoffs, and now I'm worried about your damn dog when I got 2 dogs of my own and a cat, and you're putting this on us. It's so irresponsible. It's so manipulative. And maybe I should have better boundaries when it comes to other people's pets. I'll take that one. It's just hard for me because animals are just so innocent and they need people to like stand up for them. And she doesn't answer. Seems really off. No answer for when. His surgery is scheduled to GoFundMe. Can't remember when the other eye came out. Why fly from LA to Wisconsin for her doctor? Dad to say he needs the vet. And why do you need your dad to tell you? I still love you, Jen. Go Nuggets. No, go Timberwolves. Yes, thank you, Madge. Why don't any of her friends go and get that poor dog? Where are they? You guys, where are they? This is fucking disturbing. I think you're smothering his eye like that, this person says. That probably bothers him, hence the growl. Yeah, if the dog's growling, something, he's not liking something. Something seems off here. Smiling Demi says, I had dogs all my life. The way she handles him on camera seems off. So obviously, we wonder how she is when the camera's off. Something doesn't feel right here. I'm concerned about the poor doggy. Someone says, please get off IG and get this dog to the vet, right? It's very like attention seeking. It's gross. Get it to the vet right now. Go right now for the proper treatment. He doesn't like the way you are touching him. Please, ask the vet for tips on making him more comfortable. Someone says, what the fuck is wrong here? This dog is clearly agitated. She's clearly drunk or something. Stop touching his face and handling him like that. He literally is growling at you. People are like, I can't watch you torture this dog anymore. Someone says, are you drunk? Release him from the chokehold, maybe. He's not a toy. The way you're handling him is wrong. And she'll take this. You know what she'll do? I'm predicting it now. People are bullying her. People are bullying her, you guys. She's getting bullied. I can't even ask for help for my dog without being bullied. That's the next thing we'll hear. Oh, goodness. So I don't see anywhere where she has said that Lisa Vanderpump, but good God, I don't know, guys. I don't know what to do. Oh God, it seems so messed up. Affordable Animal Hospital, Eagle Rock in Los Angeles. Karen found that already. Go there. I'm so sick of this. I'm so tired of this woman. I am so tired of this woman. Care less about your obsession with Tom Schwartz and more about this damn dog. I mean, next thing you know, let's see if the amount has changed on the GoFundMe since I last checked. So 3 years ago, nope, same. Okay, 2000. Checkers lost his eye due to glaucoma, and now it seems to be affecting his other eye. His medical bills are piling up. What are you doing? You said something about putting a cone on him in the live. Are there drops? Did she mention drop? What are we doing? They're piling up. And though I never wanted to, how do you know how much you need? Why was it $3,500 yesterday and $2,000 today? I need help with the payments. His remaining eye is turning glossy. That can't be good. Bring him in. And our vet suggests it might need to be removed. Well, what did he suggest in the meantime you could do to prevent it being removed? Any assistance would be greatly appreciated. I love my baby. Oh my God. Let me see if anyone's commenting anything on this. Oh my God. Can we get Kristen Doty on the case? I know she doesn't talk to her, but she loves animals. And it's kind of, her and Schwartz's fault. She's in the group, I guess. Or it's Schwartz's fault. He brought her on the show. No, I don't think she enabled comments on this. That's the only. Kaylee Jo Wenberg is the organizer. There is a contact on her GoFundMe. I'm going to put the GoFundMe link in the chat in case anyone wants to contact or get, I don't know. I'm sketched out. It's sus. I just want Checkers to be okay. I don't want to have to sit wondering what's going to happen. And yeah, thank you, Natasha. What causes the pressure to begin with? Didn't she say, she was couch surfing. End-up said, didn't she say she was couch surfing on the last episode of VPR? She sounds like she has been financially unstable for a while. How long has she had this dog? She's had it since it was a little puppy. Just from the little bit of research I was looking on her Instagram when she posted this, I was like, well, let me do a little scroll. But she's also taken off some pictures and she's edited some of her captions. Remember the caption she had comparing herself to a crackhead? She changed that caption. And Christina Coca told me that she did that. And I went and checked and confirmed it for myself. So it used to say I'm not a crackhead. I just play one on. I have the picture of it. Let me see what it used to say. But I'm just so worried about this dog, this sweet baby Checkers. And I'm like, oh, God. Freaking Joe. This chick. Schwartz. Why? You knew she wasn't well. To bring her on the show. Okay, let me try to find. Okay, so originally, here's what she had on this. Oops. As her picture. And then we were kind of going, okay, so you're going to get mad that people are saying crackhead energy, but you make crackhead jokes about yourself. So maybe it's kind of the sort of thing where, you've introduced that now. And so people will, right, Karen? Maybe there's a way to contact her on there. So maybe you can reach out through there because it says contact her and you could say, hey, I'll give you this money. Can I give it directly to the vet? So here was the original post from December 8th, 2019. And it says, so I'm not a crackhead. I just always make the same face, right? And so she got some pushback because she's like, oh, they're saying I'm a crackhead. And she was really going on this victim tour of I'm a crack. It's like, no, girl, you're saying you're a crack. You're saying you're making crackhead jokes. Like you look like one. which I imagine this is 2019. This is way before on Vanderpump. This is 5 years ago. So maybe you doing that, then other people are making those jokes. To now she changed it to this when I look today. I'm like a living cartoon character. Been rocking the same face since day one. Why mess with perfection? Am I right? So yeah, she went from the crackhead to that. So there's just something so sus about this chick. And I hate it. And I if she just wants to be kind of weird on her own, that's fine. But when you involve like a dog or a kid, like a helpless little sweet animal, now I don't like it. Is this a tool of manipulation? Like, what is this? So it went from this to, so I'm not a crackhead. I just make the same face. And then, why won't it let me compare them both? Well, anyways, you get the point, you guys. It's just ridiculous. Right? It seems like she could be playing us. It seems off. You got to have screenshots nowadays because people will be like, that's not true. And you're like, okay, well, actually it is. Jen says she took the other person. This is so wrong. This is highly manipulative, highly sus to use that beautiful dog as a, oh yeah, Zach Peter knows many of the VPR cast. If you reach out to him, possibly can get him up and at him. Yeah, maybe. I don't want them to think I'm crazy. But yeah, I could always text Zach. I feel like Zach might be like, but Zach loves dogs, so maybe he won't think I'm crazy. Denise Elizabeth, thank you so much for the super chat. Says Jolene, I'll send you money before I send host of a dime. LOL. And I will send this money straight to the vet if she puts a damn vet down. Okay. JW says, why are her parents not coming to get her? She said they hated the drug accusation, but they think this behavior is normal, right? Ugh. All right. Well, I mean, to be continued. I'm going to stay on this and see if I can figure anything out and let me know if you guys have any ideas. Hit me up in the DMs. But if Checkers is really struggling, and I mean, people would be more than willing to help. But I think the first reach out is Lisa Vanderpump. And another question is, why aren't you asking your doctor dad? I was going to say Dr. Dog. And why can't we see a more itemized look at where the money's going so we know? But also, what's his treatment? Because it's like this, but the doctor suggests maybe taking the eye. Well, which one is it? Oh my God. I don't want to elicit mass hysteria. I don't want to be one of those people, but I feel like this is weird, right? So maybe if some of us, try to I don't know. I struggle with what to advise people to do because I'm not, but if somehow we could get in touch with Lisa, tweet at Lisa, something, Lisa, have you seen, maybe something as simple as, Lisa, have you seen this? If we all tweet at her and say, hey, Lisa, have you seen the video Joe put out? Nothing accusatory, just it seems like Checkers is in need of some help. Can you help him? Joe's dog, something like that. You know what I mean? Because I want to have a plan of action, you guys. I just saw it this morning. I got upset, but I also don't want to, make anyone uncomfortable, and I don't want to overstep my bounds and all the boundaries and things. But maybe a tweet. Yeah, tweeting Vanderpump, tweeting Sir, something that's a little less invasive because you're just asking a question. You're not being accusatory because we don't know. Checkers could, in fact, really be struggling, and Joe could just, devil's advocate, even though the devil's has enough advocates, like Ariana says. Maybe Joe really just can't communicate properly what Checkers is. Maybe Joe can't get him the treatment properly because she is struggling in some other place. But yeah, maybe tweeting. Okay, let's do that. Everybody, let me find tweet. Okay, let's find their Twitter if you don't have a Twitter, or emailing if you don't have a Twitter, because I know some people don't do Twitter anymore. But let me see. Vanderpump Dogs and Lisa Vanderpump. Okay, so there's a Vanderpump Dogs Twitter. I'm going to put that in the chat. And I will tweet them, okay, because she is into dog rescue. So I feel like we're not overstepping our boundaries. And she is, and Joe is putting this out there. Okay, so Lisa Vanderpump. And at least we can try something. And here's Lisa Vanderpump's Twitter. And we can all just at them. And then if I see other people's tweets, I'll retweet them. Just saying things like, just asking like, hey, can you help? Joe went live and said her dog Checkers might lose his eye. You know, he might be dealing with glaucoma. Is there a way in which, since she was on Vanderpump Rules, you could help? End Up says, my dog was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. He is on meds. They don't, till they don't work, then I have to make a decision. He's not going to get better. Some things are manageable, not curable. He's also 15. Yeah. I'm so sorry, End Up. You're going through that. I'm so sorry. That is unbelievably difficult. But yeah, maybe a hashtag save Checkers, something, you know? So yeah, I let you guys know. I don't want to cause anyone any stress or anything. That wasn't my intention with this. It was just, the more this chick puts out, the more I'm just like, what is going on? And normally we just, you know, we recap it, we move on with our lives. But now there's this dog that she's put out in front of us, this adorable Checker, saying he needs your help. He could lose his eye. And I'm like, he's going to be blind. And then I'm freaking out. You know, Evelyn, you can call Vanderpump Dog. Surely, maybe somehow we can reach out. And again, no one would want to be invasive into Joe's life or her as a dog mom, but she's putting this out there and asking us for help. And we're like, but we don't know what we're helping. You know, thank you, Denise. And thank you, DGF says y'all are showing out and are showing up and showing out. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for graciously supporting the channel. We appreciate all of you. We appreciate people who give. Yes. And if Joe, like, this is not an attack, if she sees this video, if your dog really needs help, girl, give us a number to the vet. I will make a donation today. 100%. No questions asked if it's going directly to the vet. Well, I would want to know, like, is he going to be okay? Obviously, like maybe the treatment plan, not because I gave money, but because it would help my heart to know he's going to be okay. Yeah, she went public with it. So they are a rescue. Yeah, something. Yeah, you can definitely send her a message on her GoFundMe. Let me drop I think I dropped the GoFundMe already, the link in there. So you can definitely message her. And again, I think the best way is to probably she's going to respond to something, a softer message. So my suggestion is not accusatory, just more concerned and softer. So, all right. Okay. And tag me in anything you post, and I will repost. I'll share the shit of it. I'll do what I can, you guys. And I appreciate all of you. So, yeah. All right, you guys, take care of yourselves. Take care of your little fur babies. I got to get ready for my friends to come over, but I'll definitely be checking my Twitter and IG, and I'll tweet Vanderpump Dogs and Lisa Vanderpump myself. And I'll share it in my stories on Instagram. So follow me there. Feel free to tag me in it. I'll repost your stuff in my stories, and maybe we can get some kind of action for little Checkers, or some kind of answer, because this is just weird. And that little baby dog is such a sweetie baby, And if he needs a new home, I got one. Okay, so just let me know. No judgment. I've been wanting to rescue a third, even though my husband's like, slow down a little bit, and I'm like, now. All right, you guys, you're wonderful. Thank you. Comment after the video post. Have a wonderful afternoon. And like I always say, enjoy yourself. It's later than you think. Go Wolves. Bye.